Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price movement of several altcoins. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. You will also find another video on my channel where I analyze Bitcoin and Ethereum daily. That's definitely worth checking out too. If you also want cheap fees, like me, then I can recommend you mexc, it's ranked 10. And also has a similar trading volume to Bitget and Bybit. But as you can see, the taker fees are far more different. And if you want to get another 20% in addition to those low taker fees, then use my referral code in the link in the video description. There you also have a link. And also mexc has far more trading pairs than the other exchanges. Also, 100 pairs, 0 fees, just on mexc. You can find popular coins to trade with 0 fees, so maximum gains are available on mexc, and most of them are even in my daily altcoin analysis. So let's jump into XRP. I want to do a small recap. I have said it in the Bitcoin update, so you can skip that if you have seen it before. Basically, what I have said so far is, okay, XRP is short and we went into a short trade once we broke the orange trend line to the downside. The target was the $1.85. We didn't get there. What did I do? Bitcoin, we have said here was a huge fair value gap and we are going to close it 100%. We did it, so take profit was set for Bitcoin. Ethereum, we have said here's going to be our take profit. But since Ethereum was the first coin who went into that area, and I was on my laptop at this time, I kept Ethereum and watched it longer because that price movement looked very bearish to me. So, after that, Dogecoin, exactly as predicted. Right here, into the take profit. Solana, exactly as predicted. Here was our take profit for Solana. So basically, what I've done then is I have seen Ethereum already went into my take profit area. Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Solana hit my take profit. So why should I keep all the other coins and wait for the take profit? For example, XRP didn't get into my take profit, even not near to it. HBAR even much more worse. We have set it's short right here. And our take profit should have been the 15.5 cents because we had a huge fair value gap. And it looked to me like we are going to close that. But since 4 out of 9 or 10 trades went already in my take profit, why should I keep my other trades? Yeah, we have said so far we take 50% out of the trade and look if we break even more to the downside. If we do, then it's awesome. Then we still have 50% in the market. But also keep in mind, break even has to be set then. Because what happened then is, okay, we took profits. So until here, 50% of our trades were profitable. And here we should have got stopped out break even. So in the end of the day, I've then done in total 7 to 8% profits for that day. It's still a profitable day, no question. But it wasn't the maximum for sure. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. So now we can talk about XRP. So I have tracked a triangle which broke here to the downside. Didn't got to our target, and now we broke that to the upside. Yeah, and we can take that target here and put it here and can say, okay, we have even space to go up to $2.12, even a bit more because we have here a green trend line. I will talk about that shortly. But the whole triangle is invalid for me right now. Because as you can see, we broke that to the downside. We got here supports. Here it was still valid and it actually gave me confirmation that this triangle is going to work. But once we broke that to the upside and didn't get even support here, we broke that again to the upside, got up again. It looks like that the whole triangle is not valid, so I can take this one out. Didn't work. Doesn't have to be always. But now we have to see what XRP is going to do, because what I think is that since a few days, and I have waited a bit longer to check it, but it looks like that this whole move is just going to be a rising wedge. And if that breaks to the downside at currently $1.90, then we can reach prices down to $1.53. That's the target of the rising wedge. I think we are not going to go that low. I think we can find our low probably $1.60 then, or even build a higher low than this. Yeah, it might be possible. We have to see it, but like I said, I'm short for every coin. So I took a speculative XRP short position with a small amount of money. Yeah, my leverage at the moment is 1x for the altcoins and 2x for Ethereum and Bitcoin. If we break certain levels to the downside, for example, the $1.98, then I would say, okay, I can increase my position size for XRP by another 50%. So if I have, for example, $100 in XRP short position, then I can put in $50 more into that trade. And if we break the $1.90 to the downside, currently this rising wedge is rising. That's why the name is there. So basically, if we break that to the downside at a later time, then we can even break it to the downside at, for example, $1.95. Yeah, so it would be better if you replicate that pattern. So you can see on TradingView when is it going to break, and then you can do the trade if you like. If not, also not a big deal. You can also watch if you like what is going to happen. But here I would also double up my position once we break that to the downside, and then I have to see where the target is going to be, and also if we are going to build more bearish patterns, then we can calculate it even better. I have told you that I'm going to talk about the green trend line, but for this we have to go into the 1 hour chart. Exactly. So we have seen so far, we have many touch points here. 1, almost 2, 3, 4, 5 touch points. If we break the $2.14 to the upside, then I would say, okay, this might have been our low. And from here, if I get to see a break of structure, even if we get down again, then I can say XRP is bullish, and for example in this fair value gap we can get a nice long position done. But so far the whole market still looks to me bearish. Why that? We also have built up bearish patterns, and I can show you so many bearish patterns in all those altcoins. So Dogecoin. 15 minutes chart would be better. So we have tracked here a rectangle, broke to the downside, target got hit, so I can take this one out. Now it looks like that we are having a rising wedge, and also a rising wedge. Okay, if we even get up a bit more, I can take this trend line and make it a bit smoother. Not a big deal, it's possible, but I would just say this pattern is going to be valid soon. We just have to wait. If we get a new high, for example, and then sell off, then it would also be a nice short entry for me. And if we break the currently 16 cents to the downside, then I can say, okay, we can get down to 15.1 cents, but I think first target would be the support from the rectangle. I will make it white now. This could be our first take profit, and the second one right here. at the mark of 14.9 cents. So that's my game plan for Dogecoin at the moment. Even, and I'm going to show you why, even if we get up more, this whole pattern can just be a double top pattern. So basically, I mean, we have the rising wedge. If we invalidate it, then the next bearish pattern is going to get, let's say, not activated, but seen. Yeah, we can see that then a possible bearish pattern might develop after we break the rising wedge to the upside. So to be bullish for Dogecoin, we not only have to take the 16.4 cents to the upside, which was the high here, we even have to get into the fair value gaps up to 16.7 cents. Then I would say, okay, Dogecoin would be even bullish, because here we also have seen resistance and support. If we get over it, which is currently the 16.7 cents, then it would actually be bullish for Dogecoin, and that's why I'm going to do that trend line, that resistance trend line, green. So a bit different looks Solana. Solana looks like that it's going to go for the fair value gaps. Even though I'm in a short position, I don't mind. My leverage is very low. Also, I have here an old green trend line, which I would just make longer. And I can say once we break the 130 US dollar to the upside, then I can say Solana is bullish to me. So far, I don't see that. Yeah, if we sell off for Solana right now, then this whole move can also be a double top pattern. Yeah, but we have to sell off now. If we get into those fair value gaps, then the pattern will get invalidated anyway. But then we can say it might just be then a rising wedge, which can break to the downside even earlier than the double top pattern. Yeah, so I will delete that, and I would just keep that in mind. So currently, if we break the $108.34 to the downside, then this double top pattern would get activated, and the target would be the 95 US dollar. We have to sell off for that. Do we get another entry for a short trade? Looks difficult for me at the moment. I did it speculative because I didn't see any trend line. For example, we can try to use that, the sharpest trend line ever, but that's not going to work in my view. If we break that to the downside, it's not giving us any sign of bearishness because it's so sharp that we can break that to the downside, use this as support, and push even more upwards. Yeah, so I will also delete that. If I want to do a short position with a higher guarantee of selling off after that, then the 116 US dollar, which was support, could be a good entry. Or if you want even a bit more safer trade, $114.90, I think even 115 US dollar, yeah. The 115 US dollar would get us even a safer entry for a short trade, but it has to break to the downside. Yeah, so if we get, for example, here down, retest it, then we can enter a short trade and try to reach for lower prices. So far, Solana looks for me like I said, can easily go up into those fair value gaps. I will make a circle because once we get into that area, those fair value gaps will get closed and I can't see them. So in this case, I can remember that they existed. So Cardano. Cardano looks also pretty good to me. We have said, okay, triangle broke to the downside. Yeah, we didn't hit our target, but still, I can take it out. But if we don't get a push to the upside, then this whole thing here can just be a double top pattern. Might be possible. We didn't invalidate that pattern yet. So 58 cents and 58.5 cents. If we break that to the downside, then we can easily reach for prices down to 52.6 cents, where we also have this huge fair value gap. Do I think I get a better entry for a short trade before we even get lower than 58 cents? Yes, but for that I have to use that white trend line, which I will make red for you. If we break that to the downside, then it would be the first indication that we even get into that area 58 cents, 59 cents. Yeah, that I think once we break the red trend line, the chances are high that we sell off, even though if we don't break the chart pattern to the downside, then it would still be up to 4.5%, 5% profit without leverage. Yeah, but so far the white trend line didn't break yet to the upside. If we do, then keep in mind we have still coins which are bearish, so this can just be a fake out to get more long positions into the market to then after liquidate them and push the price even downwards. And also we have built up a few fair value gaps lower than us. I think those will get filled soon. The question is, are we going to fill them right now, for example, and use them to get the prices even more down? Or are we getting a break of structure and use those fair value gaps later to get nice entries for a bullish breakout? That's a question which we can't answer yet. We have to wait for the structure for Cardano. So Render is the only coin which I haven't shorted, because the whole move to the upside looks very bullish to me, and we still have that huge fair value gap. And I know fair value gaps usually get closed, but where are we right now? Are we here, where we have a higher chance and don't need much more money to get into that area? Or are we up here, where we have to sell off at least 15% to get near to the fair value gap, and to close it we have to get a minus 20% for render? And I think the possibility for that is low, even though if other coins are going to get new lows, I think Render is just going to hold a higher low. If Bitcoin is even going to 70k, then I think it's possible that Render is selling off into the fair value gap. But this is just going to be a higher low on the bigger chart. And then we can even get a huge push for Render. It looks like it for me at the moment. So I can't tell you any targets for Render, beside that this might be a double top pattern. If it breaks to the downside at $3.65, then we can reach for prices down to $3.47, where we also close then a fair value gap. But is it something which I want to short? Do I want to short Render if it's such a strong coin? I don't think that. I'm not going to short Render, but I'm also not going to long it, because I think that we are slowly topping out. Doesn't mean that we are going to sell off immediately. Doesn't mean that we might get down again, where other coins are profitable for us and getting into our targets. Render might just do a higher low and push to the upside on a later time. So ONDO got listed on Binance. This was the pump. Was based on news, because we have the Binance listing. We can even go into the 1 minute chart, and you can see even on the 1 minute chart we have this huge fair value gap. If we zoom in, I want to see how many percent it gave. Within 1 minute, we made a 5% push to the upside. So basically, ONDO looks strong to me. But still, since it was based on news, and the coin got released already, but didn't do a huge push to the upside yet. So I think from now on, it doesn't matter if it's on Binance or not. I think the push is done. And we have to see, is this just going to be a double top pattern? Where we then break to the downside at 87 cents. I will put your price mark there. I think this is going to be very important to hold if we want to be bullish. Like I said, I'm already in short, so I actually wanted to break to the downside. But then the target would be the 82 cents. But I think more realistically, the 84.3 cents, because we have their resistance from here and a fair value gap to be closed. So that's my game plan for ONDO at the moment. I can't tell you where ONDO is going to go in the next few hours or days. If it goes up, how much is it going to go up? I can't tell you that at the moment. So, SUI also. The whole structure of SUI looks bearish to me because we still have a rising wedge. And if this breaks to the downside, wait, I forgot to take the target here. Target is this. Let me do it in orange. So, if we break the $2.20 to the downside, then we can reach for prices down to $2.07. And what I've also seen is this red trend line. I can make it longer. And depending on how long SUI takes to sell off, then we can just get support on here. And then we have to see, are we going to get up or down? Even if we get a nice push to the upside up to $2.27, this whole thing here can also be a double top pattern. Yeah, I haven't drew this yet. I will do it after the video. Or no, I would just do it right now with you. So this can be a double top pattern. If that then breaks to the downside, then we can reach even for prices down to $1.82 for SUI. But it might also be just possible that once we break that rising wedge to the downside and get into that area here, that we just fall a bit lower, get support here, then we close the fair value gap and then push to the upside. This might be also possible. So I will also make your price mark here. I think the $2.05 are essential to hold. If we lose it, then it's not a big deal. Unless we don't break the currently $1.98. But okay, let's make it to $1.99 because we have here a nice cross. So HBAR. HBAR looks short to me. Why that? I have tracked a trend line, this red one, which we broke to the downside here. Retested it once, retested it twice, and now we need to sell off. And if we sell off, then the 16.3 cents is going to be most likely support. But then, what is that going to be? Possible triple top pattern. And if we then break it to the downside, then I think the target can be the 15 cents, 14.9 cents. But I also have another red trend line, this one here. And I think even if we break the 16.3 cents to the downside, if we don't get support here on that red trend line, and we also break that to the downside, which is currently at 15.67 cents, then I think chances are high that we first meet the first fair value gap and then the second one. Yeah, might be possible. I would still like to draw a support trend line right here for the future. So it might be possible that once we break that to the downside, that we find our low here on that support, or break that also to the downside to get the fair value gaps. Yeah, so that's what I want to get surprised of. When would I be bullish for HBAR? I would wait for the 18 cents. I think the 18 cents are the most important resistance which we have and which we have to break to the upside. Then I can be bullish for HBAR, even though if we might pump that up and get a huge pullback into that fair value gap to close that, then I would be still bullish, because I think then we are going to form falling wedges, bull flags, whatever, but bullish patterns to break to the upside. But so far I'm just seeing, all in all, bearish patterns or building up bearish patterns for all the altcoins and for Bitcoin. It doesn't look good to me. It looks like that we are going to get a new low soon. I didn't get any verification yet of break of structure to the upside to say, okay, we broke the structure to the upside. It looks like that we are going to get bullish. If we then get a pullback, then we can use it for long positions, but I don't see that at the moment. Yeah, I have to wait. So far, I think Bitcoin is still going to go to 70k, and if Bitcoin is going to go to 70k, for sure it would be, I think, up to 20% right now, 17%. If Bitcoin is dropping 17%, what about the altcoins? The altcoins at least drop double the amount of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin drops 17%, we can say most altcoins are going to drop at least 35%, even 50%. Those are altcoins. Altcoins tend to drop far more than Bitcoin, but also pump up far more than Bitcoin. So, thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow.